Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Srinivas. Today we are going to cover strategy on Vwap indicator. So what is Vwap? As per definition, Vwap is a volume weighted average price. It's a technical indicator that shows the average price of a stock or any security over a period of time. It's calculated just dividing the total value traded so far in the day by the total volume traded. So it's just like an average price that has been traded so far. So here is a sample chart with Vwap. This is a candlestick chart shown in this picture, and the Vwap line is shown in blue color. So generally the price keep moving around the Vwap line. So we assume that if price closes above the Vwap line, so it may be a signal for the long trade, or if the candle close below the Vwap line, it is assumed to be a bearish trend and one can go short. Okay, that's the basic concept of Vwap. So we are going to backtest a strategy, which is a simple one using Vwap indicator. In this backtest strategy, we are going to use time frame as 15 minutes. And one note here, we ignore the first 15-minute candle. That means we are not going to trade after the first 15-minute candle close, just to avoid any noise in the market. What is the rule for long? We go long when the candle closes above the Vwap line. And what is the stop loss? There is no stop loss and target. So, but we have to exit stock at some point, right? So we exit the stock when the candle closes again below the Vwap line during the intraday. So similarly, we go short when candle closes below Vwap line and there is no stop loss and target, but we exit the trade when the candle closes above the Vwap line. Okay. Let's backtest the Vwap strategy and see the results, how it looks like. So before running backtest, let me just explain a few things here. As you know, I said candle interval is 15 minutes. Here we are going to consider the trade capital instead of total capital. The reason is here we don't have any SL, right? So generally if we have SL and you know the risk, we are going to calculate the quantity based on the SL points from our entry point, correct? But in this case, since we don't have an SL, instead we have an exit criteria whenever the candle closes opposite side of the Vwap line, correct? So we are going to use some margin, assume that 1 lakh margin for each trade. So that means, say stock is trading at 200 rupees and we are going to trade a quantity of this 1 lakh by 200, which is 500 quantity. So as simple as that. If you see this max trades per stock per day, I just configured to 1. We are going to take only one trade on a given day, and I'll explain this later. Yeah, in this strategy, in the first iteration, what we're going to do is we are going to run this Vwap strategy in all the Nifty 50 stocks. We are not going to have any selection criteria which stock to be traded on a particular day, so that we can do it in the next iteration. But in the first iteration, we are going to consider all the Nifty 50 stocks, and each stock we are going to consider as a margin of 1 lakh rupees. We are going to run this backtest from January 1st, 2022 till 24th October 2024, that is yesterday. Let me run this test. Okay, the backtest results are ready. So as I said, in this strategy, in the first iteration, we have run the backtest in all the stocks on every day without having any criteria to filter out any stocks for trading. So if you look at the stocks from the top to bottom, see the Adani Enterprises has performed the most. Next ONGC, Adani Ports, Coal India, etc. And if you come down, the worst performance like Trent, Titan, Britannia, etc. But if you look at overall, only few stocks performed over the 3 years time period. Most of the stocks given losses, correct? And if you look at their total rate at 35,156, that means we are trading each stock every day, right? There are 50 stocks, so it comes around 700 trades per stock. That means, so there are 700 trading days. So on each trading day, we were trading each stock. Yeah, if you look at the year-wise profit, every year is in loss. And monthly, almost, see there are some 60-80% drawdown as well. And yeah, if you look at the win ratio, this is 27%, less than 30%. Okay, and forget about all these parameters because we don't have any strategy properly here. We just ran the strategy in all the stocks. So in iteration 2, we'll be looking at these properties as well. For now, we can just ignore all these parameters. Okay. Now let's modify some parameters to run the backtest in iteration 2. Okay. Here there is a flag, consider top gainers and losers. We are set to false in the iteration 1. Now we're going to set this to true. Okay. What does it mean? Instead of trading each stock on every day, we are going to have a filter criteria to select certain stocks to be traded on a given day. Okay, in this case, what we are doing, we are just getting the top gainers and losers on the day, and we are trading only in the top 2 gainers and top 2 losers. So, how we are calculating the top gainers and top losers in this case? So when we are skipping the first 15-minute candle, so basically our trade starts at 9:45. That means 9:30 candle has to close at 9:45. So to calculate top gainers and losers, we are calculating with respect to 9:30. So after first 15 minutes, we are calculating what are the top gainers and top losers. And we are going to select only 2 gainers and 2 top losers. And the rest of the logic is same as the iteration 1. Let me run the backtest now. Yeah, the backtest of iteration 2 is ready. So if we look at 2022, so minus 21% loss. 2023 gave a 3% profit, and 2024 again minus 46% loss. So again, if you look at the stocks wise, Adani Enterprise, ONGC, Adani Ports, these are the top gainers. And yes, Shriram Finance, Trend, Bajaj Finserv, it is the top losers. Even when we have a proper strategy to select certain stocks on a given day and start trading based on Vwap indicator only in that stocks. And looking at the statistics here, the total capital 1 lakh. Total trades taken 2764 over the 3 years time. And here you see target hit SL trade, they're all 0 because we don't have any target or SL in this strategy. So we exit the trade only when the candle closes opposite side of the Vwap, right? Look at the total loss trades 1970 and profit trade 794, that is 28% win ratio is less than 30 again. In this strategy, we don't have any stop loss or target, so we cannot predetermine how much loss you're going to make in a particular trade. So this result is known only after we have run the backtest or even if you trade in live markets. So we found over the 3 years period, the max loss of a particular trade was minus 4,800 and max profit was 15,000. And if you look at the overall profit of all the trades, it's like 1 lakh. Okay, so actually it's a profitable trade. And if you look at the charges, 1,71,000, which resulted into minus 64,000 loss, which is 64% loss during all these 3 years. Of course, it went up to 70% drawdown. So this is the reality. The reason the charges are very high because the number of trades are too many, 2,700. The more number of trades you have, the more amount of charges you will be paying to the broker and exchanges. So what do you decide? Let me open the report sheet here. Let us validate some trades. Okay, whatever the code I have written is correct or not. So I have to reconfirm, right, by validating some of the trades. Let's look at some latest trades here. So that's easy to open these trades on the chart. So on 24th October, so this is 9:45 closing candle. That means at around 10 o'clock the trade initiated, and 10 o'clock candle closed. That means at 10:15 the trade ended. In Algo, it went long. Okay. Let's check in Algo. So I already enabled this indicator Vwap here. So on 24th, yesterday, look at this 9:45 candle close. Yeah, this one. So this candle closed above the Vwap line. Okay, one more thing I forgot to tell here. So the candle should be in green while taking the long trade, and the candle should be in red color while taking the short trade. Okay, in this case, the candle is green and closed above the Vwap line. So we took the trade on this closing 684.5. Okay, if you look at the same value here, right? And the trade ended 10 o'clock 50 minutes candle that closes at 10:15. So the immediate next candle itself resulted into exit of the trade. So that is at closing 680.85. Okay, so this trade made a loss. Let us look at some short trade in Hindustan Unilever. The same day. Let me open the chart here. This is a 15-minute chart and 24th. So the trade took a 9:30 15-minute candle. Okay, that is 9:45. We took the trade. See, because we are ignoring the first candle, that's the reason we didn't trade on the first candle. So there's a second candle, red candle closed below the Vwap, and then closing price is 2515. See if it's matching. Yeah, it's 2514.95. Here the closing showing is 2515, but of course I fetched the data from the zero. That's why there's a little bit variation here, 2514.05 difference. That's fine. So we entered the trade here, and we exited at 14:45. Okay, so if you look at 14:45 candle, that means 3 o'clock, correct? So this candle actually closed above the Vwap line at 2509.9 closing price. This closing price. So this trade resulted into some profit. Okay, I think what the code I have written is working fine, as I'm able to validate the trades on the chart with the real data. So looking at the result, what do you say? So the plain Vwap strategy, even though you have some criteria to select stocks, a top gainers, a top losers, whatever, right? So despite all these things, the overall result of the strategy is in loss. That just because of the charges. But if you look at the actual P&L of the trade, suppose if you don't need to pay any charges to broker or exchanges, it made 100% profit in 3 years. But if you consider the charges, it's gone 64% loss on your capital. So now you guys know whether it's good or bad to trade such strategies. That's it, guys. In the next video, I would like to have another variation of Vwap strategy with a fixed stop loss in terms of some percentage, instead of waiting for the trade till we get exit criteria based on the Vwap. That's it, guys. Thank you. Good day, everyone. Bye.